There's a train in the background, and you may or may not hear it, but if you do, that's what's going on. Hey, everybody, welcome to Blushing Phoenix. My name is April, and on this channel, we talk about blushing and erythrophobia. Erythrophobia is the fear of turning red in front of other people. It's a real thing. It impacts many, many millions of people across the world. So if you have found us because you were searching for erythrophobia or the fear of blushing or how do I stop my blushing, then you have come to the right place, my friend. You're not alone. You are okay. There's nothing wrong with you, and we overcome. So on this channel, we talk to passionate, creative, and ambitious people who are held back by social hindrances, and that can be beyond just the blushing, because it's not just the blushing. The blushing is a symptom, and a lot of times we think if we just get rid of the blushing, then we'll go live our lives and things will be fabulous and wonderful and amazing, and there will be nothing holding us back because we don't blush. But that is a lie. It's a lie you tell yourself, and it's a lie that you believe. And what I try to do here is show you that you are so much more than redness by teaching you things that you can do that are practical things, and also through exposure therapy, and specifically showing you my own life so that you are able to see that if I can overcome erythrophobia and chronic blushing and the fear of blushing, then you can too. It really starts with the beliefs. It starts with like what you're thinking. It's your behaviors that go along with it, and you can overcome this. So thank you for joining in today, and let's jump right into it. Let's talk about how blushing is a symptom, and that if you get rid of the blushing, your life still wouldn't be perfect. And you would still have problems, and you would still have insecurities. Think about the people who you know who don't blush. What are their hangups? What are their insecurities? Let me tell you a story. Very similar to people who get different facial reconstruction surgeries done, liposuction, gastric bypass surgery. All of these things are to treat a symptom, whether that is fine lines and wrinkles, or your lips are too small and you don't like them, you want to make them bigger, breast enhancements, making your body smaller. And now, I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I have met and know specific people in specific situations that this did not solve their problem, because the problem was not the weight. The problem was the lack of disciplines, and the problem was the lack of self-worth, and the problem was that you have no goals and dreams and vision to keep you going. So even if you get your face fixed and the fat removed and the boobs bigger, you still, at the end of the day, turn to something else that is now your hindrance because you're just not okay with you. And for me with blushing, what I realized is that I just wasn't okay with me. I was afraid what other people thought about me. I was afraid that I was going to be judged, and that people's judgment was the end all be all for me, that it would dictate where I was going to go in my life and who I could be in my life. And then when I realized like that's not the truth at all, I was able to start showing up in situations around people and being able to be seen in a way that I never had before, even if I do flush. So I don't flush and blush nearly as often. There's, it kind of comes and goes, and when it does happen, it's really reduced quickly. I mean, back in the day when I used to start flushing and blushing, it would get worse and worse and continue to build on itself, because the more I flushed and blushed, the more I reinforced how awful it was. And then I would just continue to flush and blush. And my whole nervous system was like, whoa, get out of here. It's dangerous. And then when I started realizing that, what if I never stop the blushing? What if my goal is not to stop the blushing? What if my progress is no longer based on the fact of whether I blushed or not? Because I can't control that. That's not something I can control. So why would I base my success on, I didn't blush today, which is actually something I don't have any control over, as opposed to, did I show up whether I blushed or not? And that became my mindset. It's been about, let's see, what's a math? Let's do math here. 2018, 20, I think it's been about 5 years since I started the channel. which is when I first started looking into what was going on with me. And that was thinking that it was a histamine intolerance. And then I got off my birth control pills and figured that that's what was causing it. Then the pandemic came and all kinds of stuff happened. And throughout the past 5 years, I started to experiment with different products and different diets and reducing caffeine and going to a doctor, talking about propranolol, which is a beta blocker. Got tons of videos here that talk about propranolol and how it really helped me bridge the gap from where I was in my thinking to where I needed to be and where I was going to actually start the healing process. All of it was the healing process, though. You know what I mean? Like it was growing beyond feeling like I was going to be stuck for the rest of my life and that I wouldn't be able to advance in my career and I wouldn't be able to ever speak publicly and I wouldn't be able to do the things I love to do. And since then, I have been featured on live TV multiple times. Was featured in Fortune magazine. I've had multiple opportunities for successful career growth, and nobody cares. Nobody cares except you. And the people who do care, it's because they probably have genuine concern for how red a person gets. It can be concerning to the outside world, especially if you flush and you're splotchy, which is what would happen to me. And just being able to share what's going on, that I have an overactive nervous system and it just does that sometimes. End of story. We're moving on. Now, I tell you this 5 years into my journey, and it gets easier, and it's gotten easier. And there are days where I just feel insecure. And that doesn't necessarily have to do with whether I blush or not. I just feel insecure. I'm a human, and that's normal too. And you may have days where you feel insecure. And you think about when you've worked out before. Think about working out. You know, if you keep showing up to the gym, you are going to get a result because you know the formula. If I tell you the formula is that you have to keep showing up and you can't run away from it, then you will get the result. We shut that down because we're so afraid of blushing. But when we think about diet and exercise that results in changes to our strength in our body, we're okay with it because it's still a result you can't see when you start. And think about the days you show up to the gym and you are not feeling it. And you do not have 100% to give, but you still show up. And even that 40% is good enough for that day. Think about that in the blushing world. Even when you show up with 40%, you need to leave early, but you showed up to the thing, but you were so overstimulated you had to go. That's okay. That was your best for the day. It's about choosing that you will not hide away, that you will not store your gifts away, that you won't hide your voice from this world anymore, and stepping forward. You know what that looks like. So that is the message that I have for you today. I am a little late on getting a video up because I spent some time with my daughter last week and I wanted to give my full energy to her. And so I didn't take care of anything here, but I want you to know that you are so valuable and so seen and that you're not alone. Just keep showing up just like you would do your workouts and know that those results are there for you, that you will overcome your erythrophobia. Many people have overcome your erythrophobia since I started this 5 years ago, whether people have interacted with Blushing Phoenix or they've found Blushing Phoenix on their own path of healing. There are people who heal from this, and there are people who move on with their life from this, and I'm one of them. Let me tell you this really quick before I go. I was at the store, and I was looking at this dress that I wanted to wear out on a date night with my husband, and I was thinking about certain necklaces I wanted to wear when me and a girlfriend go out for a fancy dinner in a month, or in July we're going to go to dinner, and I never buy necklaces, never buy dresses because I don't like low cut stuff, or the past versions of me didn't like low cut stuff. But I'm starting to introduce myself more into environments with people who already know I flush and blush and put myself in different wardrobe now because I know they already know. And even if I do show up with them and flush, I'm still teaching my body in new wardrobe that we're okay and we're safe here. And the more that it happens, and the more that I teach my body that it's safe, because it truly is safe in the environment and with the people that I'm around, the more I'm teaching myself to continue showing up, and that my body doesn't need to do this thing anymore to keep me safe, because I'm safe. So get out of your head and get into your body and get into living your best life. You are so much more than redness. And until next time, you better rise and thrive.